The galaxy had rules. They were old, unshakable, and written long before humans left their planet. Every species that joined the Galactic Concord was forced to follow these rules. They kept peace, trade, and balance. No one ever broke them, not seriously. Breaking the rules meant punishment, exile, or destruction. At least, that was true until humanity arrived. The first human ship reached the Concord by accident. The scout vessel Odyssey jumped too far during an experimental faster-than-light test. It came out of the jump into a busy Concord trade lane, right in the path of a dozen alien freighters. The rules were clear. No unregistered species could enter Concord space without permission. The penalty was immediate capture and quarantine. The alien ships hailed the human vessel and told them to surrender. Captain Elena Torres looked at her crew and shrugged. "We don't surrender just because someone says so. That's not how we do things." The aliens were shocked when the human ship didn't obey. According to the rules, this was impossible. Every species before had bent their knees the moment the Concord told them to. That was the way of survival. But the humans did something strange. They argued. They negotiated. They pushed back. It confused the aliens. It annoyed them. It scared them. The Concord eventually brought humans in for talks. The council chamber was filled with hundreds of species, each tall, short, feathered, scaled, or glowing. The high speaker of the Concord leaned forward and said, "You will join us. You will follow our rules. It is the way of the galaxy." Elena Torres shook her head. "We'll work with you. We'll trade. We'll learn. But we won't follow rules that don't make sense. We make our own." That sentence echoed across the chamber like thunder. No species had ever spoken like that. Some laughed at the arrogance. Others whispered in fear. In time, humanity was accepted. Barely. But it did not take long for everyone to see that humans were different. The Concord had a rule of war. If two species fought, they were to send armies of equal size. That way, no war destroyed both sides completely. It was called the Balance Code. When the insectoid Creel attacked a human colony, the Concord demanded humans send only 5,000 soldiers to match the Creel numbers. The humans agreed. They sent 5,000 Marines. But they also sent drones, tanks, satellites, orbital cannons, and hacking teams. The Creel complained. "You cheated. That is against the Balance Code." The humans replied, "The rule said 5,000 soldiers. It said nothing about what we bring with them." The Creel were crushed in 3 days. The Concord was furious. They told humanity, "You must respect the Balance Code." But the humans only smiled. "Then you should write better rules." Over and over, the pattern repeated. When the Concord ordered humanity to trade only in approved goods, humans found loopholes. They sold raw minerals that were secretly refined. They created entertainment devices that doubled as advanced computers. They built companies with shell names and shadow networks. The Concord tried to punish them, but humans always argued their way out. The rules didn't say we couldn't. The rules didn't forbid this exact method. The rules don't apply in our territory. No matter how the Concord tried, humans bent the rules until they snapped. At first, the galaxy mocked them. Humans are reckless. They won't last. Then, the galaxy grew afraid. Because humans did not just survive. They thrived. They colonized worlds no one else dared touch, deserts of fire, frozen wastelands, toxic swamps. Other species thought those planets were unlivable. Humans simply built suits, machines, or new genetic tweaks to adapt. One reptilian ambassador once asked, "Why do you insist on living where no one else will?" The human replied, "Because no one else will. That means it's ours." It became clear rules that stopped others were simply challenges to humans. The true breaking point came during the Vexar War. The Vexar were a warlike species that had once obeyed the Concord, but secretly built an illegal armada. When they struck, they hit dozens of worlds at once. The Concord tried to stop them with their rules: equal forces, balanced responses. But the Vexar did not care. They broke every rule to win. The galaxy panicked. Planets burned, fleets fell. The Concord held emergency meetings. Finally, in desperation, they turned to the humans. "Will you fight for us?" the High Speaker asked. Elena Torres was old now, an admiral with gray in her hair. She leaned forward and said, "We'll fight, but not your way." The Concord tried to warn her. "If you break the balance code, you'll destabilize the galaxy." Elena laughed. "The galaxy is already on fire. Your rules can't save it, but we can." The humans unleashed total war. They hacked Vexar command systems, turning their fleets against each other. They deployed orbital strikes that burned entire shipyards in a night. They trained small teams to infiltrate Vexar strongholds and assassinate leaders with precision shots. They spread propaganda that made Vexar soldiers doubt their commanders. The Concord was horrified. "You can't do this. There are rules." Elena Torres answered coldly, "War doesn't follow rules, and neither do we." In less than a year, the Vexar Empire collapsed. What had terrified the galaxy was destroyed by a species that refused to play fair. When the dust settled, the Concord gathered again. They stared at the humans, uneasy. For the first time in thousands of years, the rules of the galaxy looked fragile. The High Speaker said, You are dangerous. You do not respect order. You break everything we built." Elena Torres stood, her voice carrying across the chamber. "No, we don't break everything. We build something new. Your rules kept you safe, but they also kept you weak. You all forgot how to adapt, how to fight, how to grow. We remembered. That's why we won." One insectoid delegate hissed, "But what happens when you decide the rules no longer matter at all?" Torres gave a hard smile. "That's simple. Then we make new ones." The Concord had no answer. From that day, humanity was no longer the newcomer, no longer the strange rebels who bent the codes. They were something else. A force that could not be contained by rules written by others. A species that would bend the galaxy, not be bent by it. And the galaxy learned the truth the hard way.